Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media, and welcome to our first live Q&A of the 2020s. I appreciate everyone joining us. As I wait for people to come online, make sure to check those links below and send in your questions. Press like on this video, share it if you will. Anything helps. Anyways, I'm excited about this decade. I am optimistic. I don't actually think it matters one year to the next. My resolutions are always based on a day-to-day thing. Um, Always do better. That's basically all it comes down to for me. Is as long as I try to make each day better than the last, not just for myself, but those around me, and try not to be a complete dick to people because it comes back and haunts you and all that kind of stuff. So my resolutions are pretty simple. It's the same resolutions I have any other day anyway. So it's nothing really specific to the year. But with that said, I am excited about the 2020s because the 2010s were insanely stressful, and 2019 specifically was insanely stressful. And I anticipate much more stress in the future, but I also am hoping for a turnaround in the overall mentality of the masses. Hopefully, thanks to maybe technology, creating better alternatives from what we have been dealing with from government, etc., to replace those entities, to replace the oligarch systems with new great marvels. I do believe that a lot of freedom will come from technology. Now, anyways, make sure to press like, comment below, comment in the chat. I need to have questions to answer to do a proper Q&A. And so far, I don't have any comments. But we have 30 people watching, so say something. Truth, Money, and Freedom says, hi there. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Sin City Tower says, has no one commented yet? Well, you're the second now. Fernando Carrasco says, when we go cashless, what happens to the cash-only pot shops? Yeah, well, I mean, so we know why most businesses do the cash-only thing, and good for them. It's definitely something that we're seeing less and less of. I remember years ago in Las Vegas, at the airport in Las Vegas, I think it was the first major airport to really test the whole cashless thing. Already most cash doesn't actually exist, or most money is actually already digital. I think 97% of it is, and only 3% is cash overall. And I think John Snyson has gone over that pretty well with the M0, et cetera, cash in circulation. But years ago in Las Vegas, I remember going to the airport, and for the first time, they're like, yeah, you can't use cash and can't use a debit card to pay for your bags either. And I'm like, at that time, I'm like, I was boycotting credit cards. I miss those. And I don't have my bags in. What am I supposed to do? And they're like, well, you can go to the ATM downstairs, take out enough cash to get one of the $100 Visa credit cards out of the temporary credit card machine on the upstairs. Then once you do that, it'll charge you a $5 fee out of the $100. Then you can come down, go through the line again, and then use this credit card. And I'm like, that sounds stupid. Why would you do that? And they're like, well, it's because, it's a lot of hassle and there's security risks in getting the Brinks trucks here to take away the cash. And I'm like, you're an airport. If your hairdresser can deal with a Brinks truck, why can't an airport do that? Aren't you guys supposed to be like, I don't know, secure or something? It was really stupid. But anyway, make sure to send in your comments, by the way. We're getting very few comments and questions in this last stream so far. But yeah, I mean, it was like, why would that? It's so stupid. It's starting to escalate. Now they got facial recognition at the airports and everything now. And I see that really starting in Las Vegas. I did a report on it recently at the airport. A lot of restaurants won't be able to use cash anymore. And it's just causes so much pain, pain in the butts. I mean, like, just dealing with, point of sales. It's not easy. If they use crypto, it would be easier, but nonetheless, it's not easy these days. I see machines go down all the time, and I'm like, can't I just give you cash? And they're like, legally no, because we're not supposed to take cash. We only have the machine. It's like, it's just so stupid. It's just an extortion racket. It's all about convenience. Like under the guise of convenience, they come in and steal as much money as possible. Truth, Money, and Freedom says, woo, 30 peeps out of 136,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's about it right now. Make sure to press like if you haven't already. It'll help the algorithm a little bit. But yeah, we are shadow banned to death. There's no doubt about that. We've been having a really tough time lately, which is why I'm excited for 2020, because I think we have a few opportunities on the near horizon that I'm looking forward to jumping right into. I have a meeting tomorrow. I'll just say it. I've got a meeting tomorrow with David Icke. He wants to talk to me, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll see what happens with that. And I don't know. There's a lot of people that have been coming to me lately with opportunities. Now I'm more broke than I've ever been in my life. But with that said, positives to understand or realize the positives and give you perspective. Um, but 1 minute says you're breaking up. Well, I hope not. I mean, my internet says it's working. I don't know. I've been getting messed with a lot online lately on YouTube. Even if it says that my internet's working full force, they'll just shut me down randomly. So hopefully that doesn't persist. But yeah, I mean, a lot of opportunities. As I mentioned recently, I'm going to be, because I'm making less money than ever off of monetization, about $3 a day. The only thing that's helping is super chats really at this point. So if you want to send those, I'd appreciate that. But I've been dying here, except for my clothes and cameras. I'm selling my vehicle. I'm getting rid of the rent and produce content. But I intend to, no matter what. I always said, if I have to go homeless to do it, I will. So I'm going to go homeless and I'm going to travel to rent with all bills included and internet and furnished and everything. So I can live month by month, place to place, and I can get a lot of stories done out there as well as survive. Kelly Gustav out to the state. The free market needs to act in free market isn't always efficient. Obviously, more efficient and more freedom oriented under the guys that can be state tyranny. The guys that can be always efficient. We need to figure out what we're going to do about that, which is really important. Truth, Money, and Freedom says, hi there, Forever Conscious Research Channel. Lacey X says, hey, everybody. Good to see you, Lacey. Carlos Alexandos says, it's 2 a.m. in the UK and I'm up very late. What three major events do you think will come to the news front in 2020? Three major. The monetary system, whether that be a collapse or whether that be a rise of something like cryptocurrency or whether that just be more, propping up by the centralized authority. Number two, war. There's never a shortage of war. The U.S. likes to prop up their empire as long as possible, and we're going to continue to see that in 2020 for sure. And then one other thing. Let me see. A major move in social media. I think information and the way people receive information is changing, and with the level of censorship online, I think we're going to see people move away from a lot of these behemoths. Now, how do we have 20 out of 136,000 people watching? That says a lot. Make sure to press like if you haven't already. This is exactly what we're talking about here at WAM, and this is what we're talking about when it comes to shadow. Is channels with 10,000 subscribers get 800 people watching at a time on their live streams. We have 136,000 subscribers, and 24 people are currently watching this. So this is the shadow banning. This is why we're on Float.app. This is why we're going to see in 2020 move over to the other social media networks. Let's see. Forever Conscious Research Channel. A lot of your comments cut off for some reason on the screen. I don't know why, but I'll try to read what I can of it. It says, can I ask why you are giving Musk any sort of air? He is 100% equals, it says. I'm guessing you're saying that he's a bad guy. I agree, and that's what I say on my videos. He is, but he's a marketing genius, whether he's an evil person or not. I don't like him as an individual, but I also think he's intelligent, and I think the market's definitely going in the direction of what Tesla is doing. So I think that we need to figure out a way around that and try to build on those ideas rather than run away and call these guys frauds. I think there's more to it than that. Hop SH 27 says, Hop here, Happy New Year. What do you see happening in coming weeks on the impeachment front? And thank you for joining us. Happy New Year to you as well. And press like on this video if you haven't already, guys. We are dying in viewership right now. 27 people out of 136,000. Talk about shadow banning. I would say with the impeachment front, more hypocrisy. Personally, I think it's a gigantic distraction. But what we see is Joe Biden and his son do some corrupt shenanigans. Trump calls the president in the Ukraine and says, hey, can you look into this? Can you investigate? Now Trump's a bad guy and it's totally okay what Hunter Biden did. I just think it's going to be more media nonsense and hypocrisy. He'll probably end up being okay. He probably won't get fully impeached, and he'll probably win the next election whether people like it or not. Moros Lajsak says, absolutely agree with that. As always, Truth, Money, and Freedom says, "Oh, awesome, good guy." Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I've met him before. I spent some time in a hotel with a room earlier in 2019 in Mexico before I did an interview and spoke with him for a good hour and a half, and it was a very interesting conversation to leave. Hop27 says, Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year to you as well. OG says, I hear a blockchain alternative to YouTube is launching this month. I think the 15th. Have you heard of Opal TV? I've heard about TFS, but I don't think it. I think people are building things on the blockchain, which moves rather slow compared to videos. You can, save everything to IPFS and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, and especially money, using money as a motive, also very helpful long term. I don't think. We saw that with STEEMIT, and that really brought them down. A lot of greed came out of that. A lot of whales came in and took advantage. It wasn't the greatest situation I've ever seen. But Float.app is a great example. FLOTE, videos just for Float, exclusive to Float, not safe for YouTube. NSFY, which is stuff that if I post on YouTube, my channel will get taken down under their new terms of service. I post on there, and I get monetization on there, which is really a lot of creators, gives incentive, which allows creators to pile on there and grow the platform, which I think is going to be the future. And I put my entire career app. Again, what we have here, we have 32 people watching, 13 and a half minutes, 14 minutes into this video. We got 30 people watching out of 136,000 people. That is where we're at on YouTube. That is why we are needing to move away, because we are going to die a slow death here on YouTube. It's just absolutely disgusting. The only reason I'm still on YouTube and I'm still posting on YouTube is to bring people from YouTube over to other platforms like Float.app. What are people waiting for? It takes 2 seconds to sign up. So again, yeah, this is. Also check the links below. I got a t-shirt, merchandise, all that kind of stuff from Teespring if you want to support independent media, pledges, GoFundMe, all that kind of stuff. True Money and Freedom says, all good, thank you, Forever Conscious Research Channel. So we are out of questions to ask here because YouTube has shown almost nobody that we are live right now. So send in your questions if you have any. Make sure to press like on this video. I'm going to go as long as I can here. I'm picking up a friend from shortly, but because my laptop anymore, or a new laptop, and my microphone's dying, so here I am on my phone, unable to be posted 2 hours to process a 10-minute video. It's my old laptop that crashed years ago that I'm forced to use right now. So I'm basically I got literally nothing to do. The computer would crash if I tried to do anything on it right now. So I figured the best thing I could possibly do is reach out to all of you. If you haven't seen our latest video, by the way, with Luke Radowski, which we posted earlier today, I definitely recommend people watch that and check that out. Please comment on the chat here. Again, people that have 10,000 subscribers get like 800 people watching at a time. And people that, like myself, that have 136,000 subscribers get 33 people watching at a time, which says a lot. So make sure to press like. I haven't gotten any comments since Truth, Money, and Freedom says all good, thank you, a while ago at 6:29 p.m. here. So I have no questions to answer here. So please send something if you got something. Let me have something to respond to here, because I got nothing. Super chats help as well. And anyway, so while I'm waiting for people to comment in the chat, this is just so brutal. I mean, this is shadow banning in a nutshell, guys. It's really sad and really tragic all the same, all the while. I don't know what to even make of it anymore. It's just got to the point of no return where it's just like, what is this? This is so Orwellian. Why are we in this situation today? Why are we so overly censored and not doing anything about it? Why are so few people caring? A lot can be said about, if you don't have the money, you can't help, and that makes sense, and that's fine. I'm not going to make anyone do something that they can't do. But with that said, what about, for example, just pressing like and sharing and going to these other platforms, spending 10 seconds going to another platform and joining something like Float.app? Something tells me that YouTube isn't allowing me to see the comments on this video right now. So I'm going to try my best without crashing this computer to see if I can read comments on my laptop. It's totally ridiculous. Even if I type in World Alternative Media these days on YouTube, sometimes my channel doesn't even come up. That's like a new level of shadow banning that doesn't even make sense. One of the most searched up things for my channel on YouTube is World Alternative Media 2019, which means that it's people wondering whatever happened to me, basically. What are they doing now? I haven't seen them since 2017. Yeah, that would be our intense shadow banning. So I'm just turning this on the computer here to see if anything at all is happening. Let's see. I'm in a situation right now where because I'm processing a video, like it's gonna take 10 hours to load anything. Let me see. Oh yeah, you guys are commenting. So I've got all these comments on YouTube and nothing is coming up on my phone. They have completely stopped showing any live stream comments on my phone. So I'm gonna move my lighting over here to where my laptop is, and I'm going to check out the stream here. This is so ridiculous. Welcome to the Orwellian future. Let's see. Michael Cross says, "Yo, Josh, can I send you some Litecoin?" Absolutely, you can. Let's see. I think I have it in the description. Let's see. Yeah, I have a Litecoin address in the description of this video if you want to check that out. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Any help is really, really appreciated here. So yeah, I got an address right in the description for a Litecoin if you're interested. Let's see. I'm going to let people know on float.app that I am live. I would be live streaming to Float right now, but like I said, my computer crashed, and my laptop that I'm currently using, I can't use it to live stream because the driver is burnt out, so I can't actually utilize live streams. The internet's super slow. It's not the internet itself that's slow; it's a computer registering the internet. It's an issue. It's definitely an issue. So I'm just gonna post to my social medias right now that I am live. Let's see, live. All right. This is just so brutal. See, this is what they do to me. They put me in this situation. They're not showing the chat on my screen here, so I can't even see what people are writing. So I have to go to my computer, possibly crash it while it's processing, so that I could see if people are even watching this video and if people are even commenting. So I'll get back to the comments right away and answer some questions. Let me just try and utilize this. This is just like, look at this. It's just like, nope. It's just white. It's a white screen right now. This is great. Oh, there we go. I got something happening there. All right. Oh, man. So, yeah, send in your questions. Super chats really help. Press like on the video. All that kind of stuff helps. And I'm going to share this to Float so people on Float know, because they don't have an algorithm on Float, so people actually see all my posts. It's not like hidden. They don't decide what people can or cannot see, which is nice. Float is set to replace Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon all in one with encrypted messaging, super chats on their live streams, as well as monetization on their videos. It's huge, and everyone should get on there. Float.app, flote.app. So now that I've told people on Float that I am there, Rachel X says, "Hi everyone." Hello, Rachel. Let me try to scroll up in the comments a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I missed so many because of that bogus nonsense. So many. I can't even go through all that. I'm sorry, guys. My phone just decided to say that no one was commenting. Okay, well, Michael Cross said a while ago, "You think they're going to kill Assange yet?" Well, he's dying, and in a Christmas message to a friend in a call, he said that he's slowly dying in prison. It's disgusting, and it's okay for these like mainstream medias to cover up for pedophilia. It's okay for them to, cover up for or call people like Assange a terrorist for covering facts and releasing factual information about kids being murdered, but if you release that information, you're a terrible person and you need to slowly die. I mean, think of the double standards here and think of how stupid so much of the public is that they allow this to happen. Why are we letting Assange be in prison right now? Why are we letting Chelsea Manning be in prison right now? Why are we letting Snowden have to be on the run? Why are we allowing this stuff to happen? Covering up Epstein in the mainstream media is okay, and covering the fact that people are getting murdered is wrong. This is a double standard world that we live in. It's sickening, it's disgusting, and something needs to be done about it. We are such a weak and subservient and stupid public to be sitting here while these people are in prison for telling the truth. All the while here on YouTube, we are getting shadow banned to death, and they are literally covering up our ability to be seen by people. 46 people watching out of 136,000 people. This is a state of free speech today. I realize these are private companies. I realize that under contract with the government, so quasi-private. They're basically corporatist fascist entities. But, I mean, look, we are allowing this to happen. We are the market. We decide these things. Why are we allowing a 2 percentile population that's against politically incorrect stuff or, controversial content? Why are we allowing them to dictate us thanks to the establishment? Why are we allowing this to happen? What are we doing about it? And that is my question to all of you today. And I realize a lot of you are doing a lot of things, but I mean, I really have to wonder how weak of a public we are that Julian Assange is even in prison dying and getting murdered right now. Why is that allowed to happen? Why? The majority of people don't support war. Why do we keep bombing these countries? Why? I mean, Bush ran on being a non-interventionist as did Clinton, as did Obama, as did Trump. Here we are. The wars keep raging on, and what are we doing about it? The populace is obviously not on the side of war, but here we are. Anyway. So Carlos Alexandros says, watch the correlation to the UK election. The US will follow similar pattern, and the left Democrats will get hammered. Yeah. Out of sight 123 says, Michael, did you send it this chat already? I don't know what that's for. I'm going back a bit because YouTube stopped showing me the live chat on my screen here, so I'm forced to look at my computer and risk crashing it so I could actually see it. Forever Conscious Research Channel says, dude, just re-enter the stream. They are not doing anything. It happens a lot when I stream as well. If I do that, it'll exit out of the stream, start a new stream, hurt my overall viewership and the algorithm, which is already deterred by about 90% since January of 2019. So therefore, it would actually hurt me. So I can't actually do that. If I exit out and return, it won't return to this stream. It'll break this stream, start another, and it'll drop my viewership on my video tomorrow. That's how algorithm here works, unfortunately. Let's see here. Christopher Fernando says, haha, this guy thinks he's the chosen one. Who thinks they're the chosen one? What are you talking about? Truth and Freedom says, or Truth, Money, and Freedom says, Josh, thanks for the donations, or at least he thanks you for the donations, or at least he will when he finds them. LOL. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, any donations are seriously appreciated. Just pressing like on this video helps a lot. Vitalzyme says, does Float have a mobile app? They do. Yeah, it's available on their homepage. When you go to their homepage, you can find iOS and Android. Matt Spence says, hey, what's happening? Good to see you, Matt. Trying to deal with some glitch on my phone here on YouTube. Michael Cross says, you remember when you told Bernie he was full of you-know-what? That was classic. Yeah, that was great, except for 99% of people didn't see it. It was crazy. Confront Bernie Sanders. It's presented on Fox News and CNN that I did that, and then I got like 7,000 views on that video within the first 3 hours, and then it stayed at 7,000 for the last half a year, almost a year actually, since I confronted Bernie Sanders. It's just stayed flat, the viewership. Like, I have 136,000 subscribers. You'd think confronting Bernie Sanders would get a few views and not just be frozen after a couple hours in. Anyway, whatever. Let's see. Rachel X, people are too busy arguing about dumb, you know what? Whoa, your comment just disappeared there. That was weird. Oh, here we go. Dumb, you know what, like bathroom symbols to care about the important stuff. That's absolutely right. People are distracted, and it's all by design. They want people distracted and stupid and subservient and dumb. Let's see. Truth, Money, and Freedom says, peeps say they don't want war, but the people are still voting and funding for warmongers. Yeah, and that's part of the free market, too. That's a part of the free market that's inefficient, is that people support this and keep going on. It's about what we as individuals are doing at the end of the day, though. That's the most important part here. Sorry the lighting's so bad. I had to move from where I actually had good lighting, so I can look at your guys's comments. Michael Cross says, send that man some Litecoin. I appreciate that. Arnold Schmidt says, ease down, Joshua. God has his plan. He will choose whomever he sees fit to move his plan forward. Your suffering is just part of the plan to prove to the world that they are corrupt, and God will deal. Well, yeah, everything's part of a plan, and in your individual life, it always is a plan. It's about how you handle that situation, and we're trying to create a transition here that will allow us to continue to bring everyone content, and that test has just forced us to work harder. Like I said earlier in the chat and in other videos, I'm selling all my stuff except for my clothing, some of my clothing, my cameras, and my laptop. So I can, I'm going to get out of my house. I'm selling my vehicle, everything I own, because I can't afford to have them anymore. And I'm going to go homeless so I can continue posting content. But I'm going to be on the other side of the world where I can find monthly rents through Airbnb are $150 to $350 a month rent with all bills included and everything. So I don't know. I feel like it's gone down to that, but we always find a way around it. They can try and destroy me all they want, but they will never, ever, ever convince me to sell my principles. It's never going to happen. I've been offered huge jobs for big money from mainstream media, and I refuse. I'm not going to take it. Period. End. Stop. CBC News in Canada tried to offer me $75,000 a year that I turned down a couple years ago. I was broke at the time. I still didn't take it because I want to be able to sleep at night, and I'm not going to toe the point to some government talking head to promote war and propaganda, which leads to vast death. Poverty is just horrible, and I'm also not going to take taxpayers' money. And on top of that, I mean, I believe that eventually YouTube's going to take this channel down, probably in the next year. I'm surprised they haven't already. They're already taking down a lot of my friends' channels. They've taken down a lot of my videos saying that they're inciting violence, like talking to Richard Gage about architecture and engineering and physics. Apparently that's inciting violence. I'm not going to, again, like I've said in other streams, and I'll say it again, I do not negotiate with terrorists. I will never negotiate with terrorists. They could do whatever they want to me. They could kill me. That's the only way they're ever going to stop my message, and then it'll grow tenfold for those that rise up from the roots. So, whatever. That's the way it is. It's not meant to be easy. No good things are meant to be easy. So let's see here. Tim True says, Josh, with trophies, thank you very much. Black Andy says, have you ever thought about making a new account and avoiding the shadow banning? I can't. I've tried. I have another account called Josh Sigurdson here on YouTube. It's totally pointless. At first, I can't afford rent if I don't have even a couple dollars monetization, which is why I'm selling everything I own. But on top of that, and I can't get monetized on those channels, but on top of that, if my name is in a video or even spoken in a video, the algorithm grabs that and I get shadow banned on those channels immediately too. I've seen other channels get demonetized and shadow banned the second they interviewed me. So yeah, I'm targeted. That's the way it is. So whatever. Rachel X says, what country/state is everyone from? Yeah, good to hear about that. Always interesting to see all those people from all over the world coming on these streams. Shinma Lestat says, have you ever talked to other alternative media about doing partnerships? I think you would do well working with Glenn Beck and The Blaze. I've actually considered all of that. I don't know about Glenn Beck, but I do know that I've talked to almost every major independent media out there. I've been doing this since 2016, trying to get this all, actually 2015, trying to get everyone together, and it's been almost impossible. People have too many different ideas of how things should run, and they want to run things, and it's unfortunate because I built my media literally for that in the first place, to be a channel featuring all the independent medias, hence World Alternative Media, all of them. I wanted people with different views, different ideas to all be on this channel and have a bunch of shows on it. Obviously on YouTube these days that's not possible. One person says something and everyone else's channel gets taken down just like that. Let me see, I got some comments coming in. I'm going to try and get to as many of them as possible here. Jedi Stock Trader says, if you're in Winnipeg, interview Leonard Ulrich. Maybe he has done his new documentary on the NWO. He won a film contest last time. This is his follow-up, The Illusion of Money. I was in Winnipeg for Christmas. I'm in Las Vegas, where I am almost all the time right now. Lacey X says, yeah, people want war. Everything's so tense. Oh man, your people's comments keep disappearing. This is really frustrating. Gotta scroll up again. Um, this everything's so tense. You know what? Honestly, just needs to hit the fan already. I can't swear. This is the thing about YouTube today. I can't post edgy content or else I'll get demonetized or my channel shut down. But I'm also not allowed to post family-friendly content because I could get fined $42,000 per video from the FTC. It's like YouTube's so pointless and stupid nowadays. It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, if you're watching, make sure to press like and join us on flote.app, flote.app. I really hope to be joined by more of you. I'm at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham on flote.app. A lot of big names on there. Stefan Molyneux's on there. We Are Change is on there. Press for Truth is on there. Crypto, Omar Bam is on there. Bitcoin Ben's on there. Ken Bozak is on there. Naomi Brockwell. You know, a lot of people are on there. I can't name everyone. There's a lot of big names on flote.app these days, and I really hope everyone goes and joins there. The Liberty Advisor, at The Liberty Advisor, is Tim BitChute of Wham as well. Arnold Schmidt says, have you considered joining Rebel Media? Absolutely not. I knew Lauren Southern well when she was working with Rebel, and they restrict people from saying things, and I want to say whatever I want, whenever I want. So they can offer me $1 million, I'd still say no. Even if I do appreciate a lot of the content on there, I'm just not going to do that. I'm one of those people that makes everything really hard on myself and puts myself in really terrible situations where I go broke and am basically homeless because I refuse to sell out to people. I'm not going to. That's why I'm still independent media. That's why I'm still on my phone here holding up my camera and talking to you instead of making millions working for a news channel, which I've been offered a lot of mainstream news jobs and I've turned them down every time because I believe in what I'm doing. I didn't start this to compromise my principles. I started this and was broke for years and it made no money for years doing this because I believed in doing this. Now I'm back to making no money. Fine, so be it. I will not compromise my principles. Anyway, if you haven't already, make sure to press like on this video. Check those links below. Help support Wham any way possible. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, share the video. All those things help a lot. Let me quickly grab my charger because now my phone's about to die. But let me see here. See, this is independent media. This is me walking around my place, getting things in order here so that my phone doesn't die while I'm live streaming to you guys. This is the way it was years ago for me, and it's the way it is today for me, and it's probably the way it's going to be for a while into the future as I sell everything I own so I can continue to do videos and spread information to you guys and be anti-war if I want, and call out the fact that Assange is still in prison and Epstein definitely didn't kill himself. So all that's very important to me. So let's see here. Yeah, and by the way, yeah, we need pledges. Even $1 a month or more helps, and super chats help a lot too. So anything you guys can do to help me out, I really, really, truly appreciate it. You guys are the heroes that are going to save independent media going down the line, and I couldn't thank you all enough. So those super chats are open, so if anyone wants to send a super chat, I really, really appreciate it. It's the only way I make money on YouTube at all anymore, because I'm basically making about $3 a day on videos, because they demonetize everything the second I post it, and then they might remonetize it after, I don't know, 4 days to a week. But at that point, they've stopped allowing anyone to see the video. It's flatlines forever, and it never, ever, ever gets another view. As long as time goes on, it'll never get views. So yeah, the only way we are actually able to do anything here is with your help. Super chats, GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, Float, where I post subscriber-only content, just like on Subscribestar at the $5 a month tier and up. And on top of that, I really, you can talk to me, you can message me on there as well if you're one of the patrons, because my email is overloaded on a daily basis. So we need to save free information online, and you are the only way that we're going to do that. So anyway, let's see. Matt Spence says Gregory Mannarino is the best. Yeah, Gregory Mannarino is awesome. He lives in Las Vegas, but I almost got an interview set up with him one day, and it just never worked out. It was unfortunate. But anyway, let's see here. Enley's Freedom says, read my question, damn it. I don't see your question. Let me see here. I'm scrolling up to try and find it. I see you talking to Rachel. Uh, oh, Enley's Freedom says, let's fight hard to get another 2020 election in Canada and vote Josh as PM. I would turn down that role. If I got in, I would abolish government, and I would never make it there anyway. Let's see. Khan says, how will Iran strike back? Well, the thing is, they're in a precarious situation. Just like people seem to forget that, I mean, Russia has been actually, like soldiers, Russian soldiers have been killed by the U.S. military in recent years. If they don't strike back against the U.S., other than little taps on the wrist, Iran isn't either. Iran has no intention to attack the United States at all. So I honestly just think that at this point, we are probably just going to see the U.S. try to escalate, probably try another false flag like they did with the Gulf of Oman earlier in 2019 in order to try and create, I think that was in June of 2019, in order to try and perpetuate a war with them. They've been trying really hard for a long time. I don't think it'll work. They'll try the Gulf of Tonkin nonsense. It's not going to happen. So I honestly think that they probably won't strike as much as they might protest and say things. Iran is a very inviting country. I'm not saying good things about the government, but the people there are the most inviting people statistically in the world, according to tourists that have gone around the world. I met a woman who was a blonde Italian who was about 75, 80 years old when I was in the Sahara Desert in Mauritania. And she told me she's been to every country in the world since the 1960s. I asked which one was the best country she'd ever been to. She said two. It was Iran and Afghanistan. They were the most welcoming. She's never been attacked in all those years since the 60s, traveling to every country in the world. Everyone's afraid to go outside of their bubble, and that's one of the biggest shames of modern times, is people just have so many opportunities to break free and go and see things in the world, and they just don't. Sungun Ryu sent 31,000. I keep forgetting. I think that's a Korean thing. But it's about 34 Canadian dollars. So thank you so much, Sungun Ryu. I really, really appreciate your support. You've been awesome, and you really have helped us a lot here at WEM. So I can't tell you how much I truly do appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me. It's literally all that's keeping us alive right now. Lacey X says, yay, independent media, thumbs up. I agree, thumbs up. And press thumbs up on this video. It helps us out a lot with the thumbs up on the actual video itself. I do have to pick up a friend from the airport soon, but I could push this on a little bit longer. Emily's Freedom says, yay, you got my vote. Tim O'Nay says, I guess I get around. Luke himself says, your documentary was amazing, top-notch. I really appreciate that. It wasn't top-notch in my opinion. I'm really hard on myself with this kind of stuff. But the thing is, I went to Mauritania, I did all this documenting, and then what happened was I had 30 hours of footage. Within a day and a half of getting back to the United States, all these people were demanding I put the video up immediately, and I had literally thousands of people calling me a fraud and a scammer, even though I could have sold the documentary for money, but instead I wanted to put it up for free for everyone to see. But it was 30 hours of footage, and people were like, put it up now. And I'm like, if I get rushed to do this, it's not going to be very good. Well, I got rushed to do it, so I had to edit it in 3 days. 3 days, I didn't make money, and I went broke and wasn't able to eat. I put it up. It ended up being 3 hours. Then everyone complained. Like half the comments on that video are people complaining about how long and disorganized the video is. And I'm like, yeah, I had to shrink down 30 hours. It's really difficult to edit a documentary. It's very, very difficult. Facts, location, timestamps, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't easy. But all the same, I'm not going to complain too much about it. But I mean, I'm not really happy with how that documentary turned out at all. And it barely got views. A video of me saying I was going to Mauritania got 95,000 views. Then I got super shadow banned right after that. Then I went there. I came back. It got like 73,000 views on a video of me going through minefields in Mauritania, Africa, through a third world nation in an Al-Qaeda red zone. And I literally went through a minefield. There's exploded cars everywhere. I slept in hostels with cockroaches all over my face. I nearly died so many times. And then everyone's like, why don't you try harder next time? I'm just like, I almost lost my mind. I got really depressed after that. I usually don't allow people to, bug me, but that actually was really frustrating for me because I tried so hard. I worked my butt off. I lost every cent I have. I'm still in debt from that trip. And people just complained, and I barely got any views on it. So anyway, whatever. It is what it is. JC says should be your 2020 resolution. My resolution is the same as every day, as I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream. By the way, press like on the live stream if you haven't already. It helps us out. And join us on flote.app, flote.app. Anyway, check those links below in the description. But anyway, so my resolution is that I just will do what I always feel is always try to better myself, do better things, be a better person, break better norms, and try to do something amazing. My goal is always to try and live each year and experience the amount of things in one year that most people on average experience in a lifetime. My goal is always to just experience things, learn things, see things, meet people, talk with people, see the world. Luckily, and it's like the good side of the bad news because I'm selling everything I own because I'm broke, because I've been demonetized and shadow banned 90% here on YouTube. Because of that, I'm selling everything I own and I'm going homeless, and I'm just going to live with my clothes and my cameras and laptop. But the good side to that, and there is a good side, is I'm going to move to Asia, Europe, and Africa on a month-by-month basis, $150 to $350 a month rent, with all bills included and furnished and everything. It's super cheap if you're a digital nomad. So I'm going to be homeless, but I'm going to be traveling around. That's a good side because I get to report on stories all over the world by saving money, a lot of money. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to afford that rent and food and everything, but hey, I believe in what I do here, and I'm never going to give up. I don't negotiate with terrorists, hence the censors, and I refuse to give up. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I always do. I always have. I always will. December 2018, I said, I'm going to Africa and Europe this year, and I'm going to make a documentary on the reshot structure. I said that. I stuck to it. I felt damn proud this last December when I got a Facebook message or memory that said this is your post from a year ago, and I looked at it and it was me saying that. I'm like, this is exactly what I try to base myself on. This is where my pride comes from. Just accomplishing things, being a decent human being, making people's lives just a little bit better, and hoping to spread information to break the belief systems of the establishment and push back against the establishment propaganda and indoctrination that stupidifies people, makes people weak and dependent, and allows them to be taken advantage of and led off to the slaughter, unfortunately, all too often in reverence with a smile on their face. So anyway, regarding the Virginia situation, I see a lot of people talking. Frank Smith says, what's going on with Virginia with the UN? I'm looking into that. I'm going to come out with a report as soon as possible. So I'm looking into that situation as best as I can. I was thinking about going there, but I can't. I don't have the money, but I'm going to be, I know there's some militia thing that's happening soon in Virginia, and we'll see where that goes. Let me see here. I see someone sent me a man. Forever Conscious Research Channel says, so you actually believe Luke at We Are Change actually infiltrated Epstein's Island, a place where presidents, corporate CEOs, politicians, etc. have stayed? I sure don't. I know Luke, and he always stumbles upon the stupidest stuff. I have no idea how he does it, but I know Luke, and if you know Luke, you know that he's not a shill. I get that a lot. People ask me that he's not a shill. If you know Luke, you know that he's not a shill. He's not capable of being one. But with that said, no, he actually infiltrated it, and it's not that it's that difficult to do. It's that nobody does it. That's a question here, is that almost no one does it. Nor they don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't have the ability, they don't have the ambition. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not that crazy that someone does something that's unusual. Well, actually, it is crazy because very few people do it. That's why it's unusual. Anyway, AZ sent $2.99 Australian. It says never give up. Thank you so much for that super chat, man. I really truly appreciate the help from all of you guys. It makes a big difference, and I truly appreciate it. Let me see. People are talking about the Baghdad airport right now, and Michael Cross says Iran about to start, a war about to start. Let me see here. Iran. False flag happening here? What's going on? 16 minutes ago, Trump orders attack that kills Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, other military officials. Oh my God. He's a guy who was leading the protests. He met with Obama a couple years ago. He's a guy who was a big part of the protests at the embassy. This is breaking news as we report here. Breaking news as a U.S. strike has killed Iran's most important military commander. Oh, damn it. This is just, I'm so sick of this warmongering and murder and destruction. This is disgusting. U.S. strike kills Iran's most important military commander. Qasem Soleimani, the leader of the Iranian Quds force, is dead in Iraq, perhaps turning a proxy war into a direct one. You don't need false flags if you're just going to go and murder their generals. As it says, in a drastic escalation of the U.S. Generation-long wars in the Middle East, a U.S. strike on Thursday in Baghdad killed Qasem Soleimani, the leader of Iran's powerful Quds forces and an architect of American agony in Iraq. The Pentagon confirmed late Thursday that it killed Soleimani at the direction of the president and claimed that in a statement that General Soleimani was actively developing plans to attack American diplomats and service members in Iraq and throughout the region. It continued, this strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attacks. Attack plans. The United States will continue to take all necessary action to protect our people and our interests wherever they are around the world. Reports from Iraq said Soleimani was killed in a strike that occurred near Baghdad International Airport. The airport, which houses U.S. and allied Iraqi forces, had also come under rocket fire from unknown militants on Thursday. Killing Soleimani, a senior official of a nation with which the U.S. is not officially at war, is highly likely to prompt reprisal attacks against Americans in Iraq and perhaps elsewhere. In addition to the 5,000 troops in Iraq, there are nearly 10,000 more deployed across the Middle East, including in Saudi Arabia, which is fighting a U.S.-backed proxy war with Iran in Yemen. The strike on Soleimani came days after supporters of an Iran-backed Iraqi militia, Kataib Hezbollah, besieged the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, itself a reprisal for U.S. strikes on the militia in Iraq and Syria. By the way, that militia in Iraq and Syria was fighting ISIS. So again, more examples of how Trump is just an establishment pawn who sacrifices his pawns for the king and the queen. The same thing that we've been dealing with for 100 years, the military-industrial complex. I'm so sick of this. They go after Iran. They try to wage coups. They destroy the country for years, decades down the line, causes hostage crises, all lies and deception, arming and funding terrorists. Let's go back. Let's see. They arm and fund Hitler and prop up Hitler against the Communist Party. Then Hitler gets in. Then they prop up the Soviets against Hitler. And then they prop up Al-Qaeda against the Soviets. Arm and fund Al-Qaeda. Then they arm and fund the Taliban. They arm and fund the Ba'athist Party in Iraq. They create more future wars. They go in, try to go after them for the same weaponry that they gave them in the first place, which they no longer had. Lie about it. The Afghanistan papers just told us that all of this was a lie. The Syrian dossier just showed that all this was a lie. And we keep going for it. And this is another example about the fact that people voted Bush in because he was non-interventionist. People voted Obama in because he was non-interventionist. People voted Trump in because he was non-interventionist, and it continues. People keep falling for it, and here we are. Now they're talking about going to war with Iran, and they're killing their most important general. I mean, they've been trying to go to war with Iran forever. We were just talking about it earlier in the stream before this breaking news hit, and now here we are once again talking about war with Iran. They tried to attack that ship in June and then blame it on Iran. Obvious false flag. We saw people rise up against it. It wasn't believed. The owner of the Japanese ship that was struck said themselves it wasn't Iran. That narrative went out the window. They've been trying to go up against Iran forever, and this is just, it's disgusting. I want to go to Iran. I can't raise the money. I'm going to need you guys to help me out here, but I will go to Iran on the ground. I'm so sick of this. Millions of people have died, millions, and look who's in prison. Julian Assange for reporting on facts, for spreading facts about how children were being murdered by drones as people joked and laughed. And he's the guy that goes to jail. And now he's being slowly murdered in prison. And now here we have this breaking news with Iran. And I guess if we speak out about it, they're going to probably push more Patriot Act, more bogus NDAA nonsense to stop us from really properly talking about it. For those that are just tuning in, the U.S. has just killed Iran's most important military commander near the Baghdad airport. This is an attempt at de-escalating. How is murdering Iran's top general, de-escalating. I'm so sick of this. I honestly, I don't even, I got to leave right away and pick up a friend at the airport. This is really bad timing, but my God, I don't know how to deal with this anymore because, you know, if people don't support this, obviously you could see that in the way that they vote. But then it just perpetuates because people get so stupid and apathetic thinking, well, maybe this guy will change things. That's been going on since ancient Greece. Has it changed things? No. It's only gotten worse. And now we have a technocratic control system that's based on war, mass murder, and extortion with a central banking system. When will people learn? When will people learn? I don't know. I honestly have doubts that people will ever learn. People just need to be led to the slaughter with a smile on their face as per usual. Anyway, I'm going to research this story as much as I can for those just tuning in. Breaking news. The U.S. just killed Iran's most important military commander by the Baghdad airport. This is nothing but bad news for the next week down the line. Obviously, an attempt to escalate and cause Iran to strike back, which would lead to more mass murder by the U.S. government and military industrial complex New World Order. Alex S. says, better stay away from Iran. They will cut your... No, they won't cut anything off. I mean, the Iranian government isn't good, but the people there are very inviting, and I don't want to see another country of people that are independent, self-sustainable, get ripped to shreds, murdered with millions dead like we saw in Iraq. It's just, I'm so disgusted by this. I'm so sickened by this. It just never ends. I don't know what else to say. We will be reporting on this more in depth later. Stop being a slave. Don't fall for it. Speak out. Write on Twitter that you're against this. Use the hashtags. Infiltrate the hashtags. Infiltrate the popular trends. Make the world aware that you don't support mass murder and war. If you haven't already, press like on this video. Check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, float.app, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what else to say here. I gotta go right away, but it makes me discuss it. It just more wars. Just never ends. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry I just cut this Q&A kind of up here, but we'll get back to you guys with much more on this subject as it elapses. I have a video I got to post in the morning on the future of the gold markets. I will do my best to get on the Iran stuff as soon as possible tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that. I also just did a video that was posted earlier today with Luke Rudowski of We Are Change talking about Iran and Iraq and the attempt to go to war. And you guys, so many people out there just like, oh, Trump's just trying to stop globalism. The biggest example of big government and globalism and communism is this massive Orwellian military-industrial complex. You can say what you want. I'm not going to speculate that it's all part of a plan. I'm going to see what's in front of us right now, and I see mass murder and attempt to escalate the military-industrial complex, and I'm so effing sick of it. And I'm sick of people being apathetic with one leader. Bush, anti-war people under Bush. Obama comes along, bombs more people than anyone before. Oh, well, he's fine. Then those people that are anti-war under Obama, though, on the other side, Trump comes in and so many of them just go, well, that's fine. It's part of a plan, trust the plan, 4D baseball, whatever. It's just, that's the apathy they want. That's the distraction they want. That's the subservience that they want. Don't fall for it. Break free. Stop being a slave. Assange is in prison, Chelsea Manning's in prison, and now the U.S. government just striked Iran's top military commander. I will be getting back to all of you guys soon. I gotta go. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure to press like if you haven't already. I really do truly appreciate all of you guys. I really do. I'll talk to you guys soon. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.